This is 21 Questions. It's a trivia podcast hosted by me. My name's Mike. Hello. I've been running trivia shows in pubs and clubs for over 22 years, and now I'm a podcast as well, and I love that you're here. Let's get going. Question 1. Which superhero has been played on the big screen by Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, and Christian Bale, all in standalone movies? That's Batman. Question 2. Is the number 9 a big or a small ball in the game pool? What are you talking about? They're all the same size. You know what I mean. You're just being obtuse. A big or a small? Above 8 has to make it a big, doesn't it? Because 8 is the black ball. It's a big. Question 3. Are the Pope's guards, that's right, the Pope has his own personal little army, are the Pope's guards called the Swiss Guard or His Holiness's Protective Services Division? They're called the Swiss Guard, and if you haven't seen their outfit, they're quite fancy. Question 4 is always a true or false in this podcast. Here we go. True or false? Tabasco, from which the hot sauce takes its name, is a state in Mexico. It is, that's true. I think also a state in Mexico is Chihuahua. Chihuahua, as in the dog. Question 5. Name the character from TV's Hogan's Heroes who famously knew nothing. That's Sergeant Hans Schultz, played by, was it John Barron? Who is an English actor, not German at all. Question 6 might have been American, but either way, not German. We can all agree on that part. Question 6. Which of the following IQ scores represent average intelligence? 90 to 109, 110 to 19, or 120 to 140? I'm going to give those to you again. Which of the following IQ scores represent average intelligence? Is it 90 to 109? Is it 110 to 119? Or is it 120 to 140? If you are of average intelligence, your IQ will be between 90 and 109, which is not bad. You know, it helps improve your brain elasticity. Trivia does. Just saying. That's right. I'm a hero. I'm helping people. I'm almost certainly going to edit that out. Question 7. Which Christian name was given to the singer Art Garfunkel at birth? Is he just called Art? Was it Arthur? Or was it Michael? It was Arthur. His mum called him Arthur. My mum called me Michael, which is why I gave it a mention. After question 7, we do the first clues for the Who Am I? Here we go. Who am I? I was born in Germany in 1970 and originally planned to study law before my life took a very different direction. As a teenager, I was discovered in a nightclub and soon began working as a fashion model, and in time, I became a supermodel. So, German supermodel, born in 1970. Whoever could that be? Question 8. Which British film director was born in 1899 and was famous for making brief cameo appearances in his films? That's Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock made 53 or 54 movies. Some of his earliest ones have been lost, but he appeared in at least 40 of those movies. You've got to know where to look to spot him sometimes, but that was part of the fun of it. Basically an early version of what they would call today an Easter egg, a cameo, but a hidden cameo. Question 9. In human biology, is your mandible in your head, your chest, or your legs? Where are you keeping your mandible? Your mandible is the bone of the lower jaw, so it's almost certainly in your head. I don't know you. Question 10. Name the 2 NBA, that's National Basketball Association teams, that include the words Los Angeles, or the initials LA, in their team name. There is, of course, LA Lakers and the LA Clippers. That's question 10. Question 11 is another true-false. True or false, the technology Bluetooth was named after a 10th century Viking king. That's actually true. Harold Gormson's nickname was Bluetooth. He was a Viking king and he unified Denmark and Norway. So back in 1997, a guy called Jim Cardish from Intel said, you know what? This technology is going to unify the mobile world and the cellular world, and we should call it after King Harold, call it Bluetooth. And someone went, oh, we were going to call it Magic Air, but I suppose that'll do. I made up the Magic Air part. Question 12 is mustard made from the leaves or seeds of a plant? Where do we get mustard from? Mustard comes from the seeds. Question 13. Found in North America, is the yellow-bellied sapsucker a bird or a snake? It's a bird. When you hear yellow-bellied in Australia, you think of a yellow-bellied black snake, as immortalised in the Midnight Oil song. But the sapsucker part would suggest that it's probably a bird, and it is, in fact, one of those. Question 14. By area, which country is larger, Brazil or China? It'd be China. Brazil is 8.5 million square kilometres. China is 9.5 million square kilometres. And I think China is the second largest country in the world after Russia. More clues now for the Who Am I. If you remember, we were talking about the German discovered in a nightclub, became a supermodel. Here we go. Who am I? During the 1990s, I became one of the most recognisable faces in the world. I appeared on hundreds of magazine covers and worked closely with major fashion houses, including Chanel. My initials are CS. Have I made that too easy by giving you the initials? It's done now. Question 15, let's press on. Was Charlie Watts or Bill Wyman the drummer for the Rolling Stones? These sorts of questions are interesting to me because I know there are some people going, oh, Mike, for heaven's sake, that's the easiest question in the world. And there's other people going, I don't know anything about the Rolling Stones. I don't know. That's true for all trivia. Trivia is easy if you know it. Question 16. Founded in 1348, the oldest and most prestigious order of chivalry existing in the UK is the most noble order of the what? Is it A, Garter, B, Garrison, or C, Peerage? It's actually A, Garter, the most noble order of the Garter. Yeah, not to be confused with the most noble order of the push-up bra. That's a different sort of a thing. I'll see myself out. Question 17. Was Oskar Schindler, upon whom Schindler's List was based, of course, born in Germany, Hungary, or what is now the Czech Republic? Oskar Schindler was born in what is now the Czech Republic, but he considered himself a German industrialist because he moved to Germany quite early on in his life. He's worth a Google. He's painted as a very heroic figure, and he absolutely was. But he also did quite a few things in his own self-interest along the way. So it was actually good for him, convenient for him to be helping out all the people that he did. Don't at me for this. I'm not knocking the man. I'm just saying there's always shades of grey to things, and this is a good example of that. Question 18. Which 9-letter S word, a word that starts with S, is a trained and knowledgeable wine professional normally working in fine restaurants who specialises in all aspects of wine service as well as wine and food pairing? They're very fancy. They are a sommelier or a sommelier. Sommelier. Sorry. Question 19. Isn't alive or dead? As I talked about last episode, I'm thinking because of the work I'm doing on social media that I may need to change this to alive or not so much. Anywho, for now, alive or dead, Don Henley. Don Henley, original member of the Eagles. Don Henley is still alive. It was Glenn Fry who unfortunately passed away in 2016, but Don Henley, he was the Boys of Summer guy, wasn't he? He's still alive. Question 20 music question. Which of these music acts have sold the most albums worldwide? Is it Queen? Is it ABBA? Is it the Beach Boys? Which of these music acts have sold the most albums worldwide? Queen, ABBA, or the Beach Boys? It's ABBA. ABBA have sold 400 million albums, give or take. Queen over 300 million, and the Beach Boys over 100 million. All very influential acts in their own way, though, aren't they? Where would music be without Brian Wilson? Just saying, just asking. Where would music be without Queen or ABBA? Yeah, very influential bands, all of them brilliant. Okay, let's finish up the Who Am I? Here we go. Who am I? My personal life often attracted media attention, including a highly publicised relationship with the famous illusionist David Copperfield. Often compared to Brigitte Bardot, I became one of the defining fashion icons of the 1990s and hold a Guinness World Record for appearing on more than 1,000 magazine covers. I am Claudia Schiffer. And look, it's not very family. I've never said this was a particularly family trivia podcast, but I am trying to keep it relatively clean. But one of my favourite jokes is if Claudia Schiffer married Brains from the Thunderbirds, she'd be Claudia Schiffer Brains. Just very amusing to me. Anyway, the player question. We finish each episode with the player question. I invite you, don't just think I'm not talking to you, because I'm actually specifically talking to you. I'm inviting you to send me a trivia question and the answer if you like, but even if you send me the answer, I will check it. Send me a trivia question, anything will do, and I will use it on this podcast at some point in the future. I've got them banked up to about episode 35, and this is episode 24, I think. So not too far into the future, but send me a trivia question. As you send them to me, they go on the list, and when I get far enough ahead, I will probably do a whole episode of player questions. I just think that'd be fun. But for now, I'm doing one an episode. Last week's came from Joy from Kalanga, who asked the question, how many colours does a dog primarily see in? And it's a very interesting question. I fell down a bit of a rabbit hole Googling this. They see primarily in shades of yellow, blue, and grey. So 3 colours. That's a great question, Joy. Thank you very much. This episode, the question comes from Michelle. Michelle is quite an intellect, and she sent a very interesting question. She asks, which Z is the name given to a secret communication the Germans sent Mexico in 1917, proposing an alliance against America if America entered World War I? Crazy, those sneaky Germans. Now, if I was to offer my own clue here, I would say it's the same Z that Bob Dylan's real surname. Now that would make it a little bit easier for me and maybe for you. Answer next week. If you would like to submit a question for this podcast, go to 21 Questions by Trivia Tribe, the page on Facebook. Click message, send it to me. I'll acknowledge it. I answer every message that I get, good, bad, or indifferent. I've never had any bad ones, but I imagine I would answer one if I did. And I will use this in a future episode of the podcast. Speaking of the podcast, it comes out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Thank you very much for being with me for this episode. I'll see you in a couple of days with another one. Love you. I don't know you. I'm Mike. Bye.